where dreams collide. The neon glow flickers as I hide inside, lost in the cold where memories drift, chasing the echoes of a broken gift. In this digital locket, our fate entwined. We're lost in the pixels, aching for light. Through bites and the echoes, we stand and fight. In this melancholic embrace, we move as one, bound by our dreams till the dawning sun. Through endless levels, the shadows play. Each beat of the bass holds a piece of my day. Glitches in motion, I'm fighting my way as futures unravel in this endless fray. Yet hope lingers on beneath the weight. We're lost in the pixels, aching for light. Through bites and the echoes, we stand and fight. In this melancholic embrace, we move as one, bound by our dreams till the dawning sun. We fly. As we enter engaged in the heart of the night, we'll dance through the pixels till we find our light. In the pixelated realm we take flight, chasing dreams through the neon nights. With every click, the world feels right. Leveling up, shining so bright.
Glitching moments, the time we create. Connected souls we elevate.
Dance through the night, feel the energy rise. In this digital world, there's no compromise. Together we'll fight, we'll never say die. In the game of life, we reach for the sky. Jump into battles, it's do or die. A future bass beat, we're ready to fly. With friends by our side, we revive through us getting loud as we amplify. Victory calls, hear the crowd roar. In this game in life we soar. Dance through the night, feel the energy rise. In this digital world, there's no In the neon glow, I wander through the night. Pixels whisper stories of a fleeting fight. Ghosts of past victories linger in my mind, chasing shadows of...
Alright, we're back for properly with Tower Fantasy. So I checked out the warp server. I wouldn't call it underwhelming because I really didn't have a whole lot of high expectations for it. It's interesting in how the warp system server works. Free weapons, I think one free daily pull, and then the auction system and a couple other things. It's interesting and how they have that server set up. Unfortunately, I just don't see myself playing on the warp server because I don't feel it's the same story. You experience the same issues with the game, and I just don't care enough to start a third time. Yeah. We're back with the real stuff now on the main server. We got some new story we got new story updates. As you can see. So the Brighton storm. We got 4 new chapters we gotta go through. So we're gonna go through those. Since that warp server kind of like took an hour of my time for the night, I'll probably go through 2 hours of it, maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half of this, maybe 2. And then I'll finish up the rest of it if I don't finish it tonight on Thursday. So yeah, let's just continue with the story and see what we gotta do, shall we? Excuse me, sirs and madam. I know. So they did put out a notice that there's no Japanese voices, which is, I'm not quite sure on how much of that extends. I don't know if the whole fucking patch is muted. Hopefully that's not the case. It probably will be though. But it's unfortunate. So yeah, just bear that in mind. There probably won't be any voices. I know you need time to think. I can give you that, but not much. A day at most. No one knows about my release yet, do they? I was just about to take care of that. I'll reach out to my media contacts and clear your name. My assistant Alexander is currently handling the necessary documentation. Tomorrow, the story of the Ida visitor, falsely imprisoned by the Anchor of Infinity, will become the talk of Kailo. Please remember to add a line at the beginning of this this lead news item. The diplomatic representative's assistant, Shirley, was taken to Helix Bio Inc. for treatment after suffering from local environmental sickness. Clever. That way you won't dare lay a finger on your partner. Not only that, if they're going to work together, you must guarantee Shirley's safety. Get her out before the media storm hits. You know, you're actually very similar to Nanto. He made the exact same request to me, except he was worried about Aglaya. My answer to you is the same one I gave to Nanto. I'll do my best to ensure his safety, but if you want a swift rescue, your best option is to partner with me. Is to partner. I understand your position, but we must discuss something more pressing first. Before I left, I made an agreement with Linsis. If they hadn't heard from me after 7 days, they would retrace my steps back to Ida. But that location is a trap, and today is the 7th day. Now that she broke out, Rafa is going to put the entire Brighton zone on high alert. Even if Lana is running on empty, she's going to be breathing down our necks. What exactly is going on with this Lana? And how is Rafa using her to control Kailo? 50 years ago, Kailo constructed the Ark space station. Back then, the station's AI was called Noah. After a catastrophic incident aboard the station, Noah's servers were damaged, and then Aglaya Todd rebuilt it as Lana. From that day on, as the space base and mines were constructed, Lana spread through every vein of Kailo's society. The Brighton zone, constructed atop the remnants of the Ark space station, is no exception. So, what's going on with your space fleet, your whole fleet headquarters? After Kailo established contact with Hycross, Lana soon faced a shortage of computational power. This wasn't unusual during Kailo's years of rapid reconstruction. Lana often ran into similar shortages. Reconstruction of infrastructure requires the AI's power, but in order for the AI to take over the new facilities afterward, we must increase her processing power. The same logic applies to contacting Hycross and establishing a secure channel. I was set up with Rafa and using Lana to spy on the fleet, so while the channel was being set up, I was used saving processing power as an excuse to cut her loose from the Hope fleet. How are you supposed to do that? Your spaceship can't run without Lana, can it? Well, before Lana took control of the spaceship, or when the Kailians couldn't get Noah online, how do you think we'd manage to pilot the spaceship and explore space? Simply put, I rebooted the fleet's old systems that Lana phased out and trained the necessary personnel. I staked my claim. I call the shots in every sector where those systems run. I gave up the fleet's navigation, Brighton's presence, surveillance, made Rafa sign the agreements, and rolled out the old system across the fleet in place of Lana's. So, since Hycross and Kailo got in touch, Lana is not watching the whole fleet HQ anymore? Lana has no control of the fleet's confidential comms, provision pods, or energy transport systems when they run outside the spaceship. So, this is just a recent change? In such a short time, how could you even prepare? You really think you'd overthrow Anchor Infinity? You want to head back to Ore Zero? I'll get you a fleet pass for the Space Rift. Oh, and could you also take this handwritten letter to Hipper for me? You just glossed over my question. What the fuck? So I'm just heading back like this? Really? There won't be any problems? Your record is clear in the system, and I'm personally backing you. Don't tell me you're underestimating my influence or that of Hope Fleet. I trust you. After all, you're the one who seems the most concerned about my safety. Whatever comes next, thank you for your help. Thanks, madam. To my dear Hipper. Alright. I need to upgrade. Two Hippers! I'm out of here. Fuck this place. This place sucks. What the fuck's this? This is not delivered exploration results. What? What's this? What's this? I don't. What is that? That's not what I wanted. What is this? I didn't know this was even a thing. Alright, whatever. Where are we going? Didn't mean to do that. Hipper, long time no see. You, what are you doing here? I'll explain everything later. Where's Linsis? Today's the 7th day. Rush back to check on her. She must not go to those coordinates I gave her. You look like you panicked. Once you reached the Brighton zone, Linsis moved Helene and Carrot into a safe house and launched a 7-day non-stop live stream. Wait, is she live streaming right now? Yeah, she may have agreed quickly, but she knew the risks involved. She set up live broadcasts as a last result, using it as her own means of self-preservation. I'll contact her immediately. Hey, what is it? I'm juggling a lot right now, so make it quick. Linsis, is me. I returned safely and I'm here in Hipper's office. How did it all fall off? You dozing on me? Where should I pinch you this time? Is that really you? Yeah, Jenna Veronica of the Hopefully Vouchman got me out. I'm free and safe, so just relax. Helene, please let Carrot know that the spaceship won't be needed for now. Also, inform the others that today's plans are cancelled, and tell them I appreciate their hard work. Got it. Finally safe. Linsis? Linsis! Don't worry, she was on edge for 7 days. Now that she's finally relaxed, she couldn't stop herself from dozing off. Just let her keep streaming while she sleeps. Huh! See, she's really been through a lot. Tell me what's going on. You said the general got you out of prison? Did I let her make it to the spaceship? And why can't Linsis go to the coordinates you gave her? You sent a letter to Veronica's spaceship? Of course, Mona saw you being branded a fraud. I asked the general for help. But with Lana managing the spaceship system, I'm not sure she actually got the message. Veronica got the message through secret channels that came to my rescue. I was attempting to break out and was almost trapped by Anchor Infinity, but she showed up right on time. The general knew better than anyone that Project Astralis was just an Anchor Infinity diversion. She must have prepared countermeasures before leaving, and more than one. Lana liked to intercept the message I sent to the general. Anything that actually got through would need more covert channel. No wonder Veronica asked me to deliver this letter to you. Let me guess, she wants you to convince me to work with you. Work with her? I suppose so. More specifically, she wants me to be totally honest about everything. She expects that after hearing it all, you'll be ready to trust and support her. Alright, let's hear it. Honestly, I've said most of this before. Hopefully it isn't just searching for a new home. From a human standpoint, it's about probing the limits of the universe. We don't care about Homecoming or Exploration faction. Our Anchor Infinity is the one dragging us into these disagreements. Whatever life the Kailians want, the hopefully will make it happen. Exploration once carried humanity aboard the distant beacon to Ida, allowing our civilization to endure. Hopefully uphold that legacy. In any parts of the cosmos, humanity must never cease to explore the unknown. At this level of exploration, with Kailo's resources as they are, you just can't afford it, can you? Anchor Infinity has stalled Project Astralis for years, and we've had enough. Hycross are all scientists. They surely grasp the importance of this objective better. The many people hopefully who are like you, all about exploration and indifferent to whether the Kailians go back to Ida? Of course, the general spent over 10 years meticulously building her reputation. Many mid-level officers, myself included, have been her supporters since our academy days. After the spaceship disaster, did they assign you to Order Zero as part of the Veronica's plan? As you know, Kailo suffers from the unpredictable space-time turbulence. Pirates, desperate for cover, risk navigating it, while Anchor Infinity and the fleet only take the safest routes. The stable patterns of space-time turbulence and the Nova path become easier to spot when they shift. Still, the Asher ran into a spaceship disaster along that route. This much computational error can only mean a shortage of computational power. You're talking about Kara's spaceship crash right before arriving on Asperia, right? By then, Hycross should have already been in contact with Kailo. According to Veronica, keeping the communication channel with Hycross running drained a lot of Lana's computing power. By the time the Asher incident occurred, the missing power should have been restored. During my time at Brighton prison, several inmates died within a few days. Word is, Lana didn't have enough computational power and the brain interface fried their brains. Lana's computational power is clearly deteriorating. This is tied to the recent numbers of the construct of habitable areas. It suggests the project is running into major trouble. Now that Lana's computational power is hitting its limits, the Anchor Infinity will inevitably have trouble keeping strict control of the universe. This seems like an opportunity you just can't step by. That's why after the spaceship disaster, the General immediately assigned me to Kailo's key Zeronium supply site, or Zero. My presence ensures operations run much more smoothly. According to the letter, your presence has significantly boosted the General's odds of success. The General has great faith in you, calling you as a decisive striker and an indispensable force. Thanks, madam. Your actions have already destabilized Kailo. Should you refuse to cooperate, the General may see no alternative but risk everything and authorize Ralph's assassination. When I lose, the fallout will consume Kailo. I need a moment to think. I mean, that is kind of like a lot of shit to take in. I have a nagging feeling that I haven't fully grasped it yet. Alright, I need to deal with something. You can see this room for now. Thank you, madam. Okay. Void Piercer! Ooh, she's here. Have you made up your mind about partnering with Veronica? I thought this through and cooperation is essential. Given Rafa's stance towards us, we need to handle him before pursuing anything in Kailo. But before that, we need to ensure Shirley's safety. Clearly don't trust Veronica. No, it's because I trust her that I'm wary. Her abilities, ambition, and strategies are top-notch, but it's people like her who are most likely to make decisions that put others at risk. Veronica's main goal is taking out Anchor Infinity and securing Lana's root access. Against that, how concerned do you really think she is about Shirley? If push comes to shove, she wouldn't pick Shirley. But try not to worry. I haven't had a moment of rest since arriving. Helix Bio Inc.'s machines are incredibly handy. With them, I've optimized Shirley's human and machine loops so she can now bypass space-time turbulence and interference. You weren't discovered by Lana, were you? Ever since you broke free, Lana's computational power has been fading. She can no longer study Shirley and is left with nothing but a rudimentary brain interface prison. What's happening with Shirley now? I used the network to forge a copy of Shirley's consciousness and slipped into the brain interface prison, replacing the real Shirley with trapped within. I originally intended to bring her here to meet you. However, after learning your plan, she decided to remain in the Helix Bio Inc.'s laboratory, both to assist your efforts and to ensure that the replicated Shirley consciousness would not be detected. If it weren't for me, Shirley wouldn't have had to endure all this. Now that she's safe, there's only one thing left to consider. What's still bothering you? I've been pondering why Boggs does what he does. Since arriving, I've seen what the universe is full of space-time turbulence, and that the Kailian situation is pretty complicated. You know, it almost feels almost impossible to track Boggs down on my own. I know he needs my portion of the source code, so I'm going to deliberately surface and try to flush him out. He's not just hiding, he's vanished. I tried to trace Boggs while staying under Lana's radar, but there's no sight of him. He doesn't seem to understand interested in your half of the source code at all. He's actively avoiding you. Is he really hiding? Maybe he's scared you'll claim his half. I feel the same way. But why? I thought you wanted my half of the source code to open the hyperspace gate and welcome the master he spoke of. He's in Kailo. He's supposed to be how is he supposed to open the hyperspace gate? There's no Tower Fantasy or Gestos, and he only holds half the source code. Could it be here? Thanks to the Aura Zero samples, and surely Hycross has already demonstrated that Zeronium and Omnium are one and the same. So Kailo has always had what it takes to build the Tower Fantasy. And Gestos? Can't Lana handle that instead? You think too little of Gestos. No, of me. I'm an evolved dimensional quantum supercomputer powered by Omnium itself. Lana and I aren't in the same league. Even if Kailo had the Omnium reactor, she couldn't start Origin Resonance, much less open a hyperspace gate. If she were a dimensional quantum supercomputer, I couldn't have appeared here like this, and I certainly wouldn't have been able to help you escape. Let's think about it from Boggs' perspective. If he wants to get the hyperspace gate running, the Zeronium device and Kailo would be adapted to Omnium reactor. The dimensional quantum supercomputer he's missing, it's going to have to be Lana in the end. Lana's been short on computing power for a while now. Every Kailians we talked to said it's not normal, and it's been this way since Karat's spaceship disaster. Do you think Boggs has been quietly upgrading Lana ever since he came back to Kailo with the source code? Some of the servants he commands inside the network are scientists studying Omnium technology. According to Gray Fox, the outsiders see it as a relic perfectly frozen in time. Boggs must have had multiple objectives in entering the network. In addition to acquiring the source code of the perfect authorizer, he may also have obtained the technical documentation from Gestos' past upgrades. That doesn't sound good at all, actually. That sounds very bad. The closer you get, the more nervous he becomes, racing to finish Lana's upgrade. The prison's brain interface is already surging with extra power. If these threads are really connected, then Boggs isn't simply a Kailian who linked to the network through a brain interface. He must have strong connections to Rafa and the Anchor Infinity as well. Could it really be Aglaia? Are you really asking me, or just yourself? After everything in Kailo, it's hard to think it's really her. But if it's not, then who's Boggs, and what's his deal with Rafa? Not to risk exposing himself to cooperate precisely because Rafa threatened Boggs' life. To Nanto, the name Boggs is nothing more than Aglaia's code name. According to the latest intelligence, Rafa has lined up someone to take Boggs' place and grab Lana, so we believe there is a 70% probability that he intends to harm Aglaia. Then the Boggs we've been looking for has always been Rafa's subordinate? Aglaia frozen in these pods. Was this Rafa's plan all along? That also explains why you were in prison. Once you become a prisoner in Brighton's prison, they use brain interface to pull data straight from your mind. Without me, your source code would have been long gone too. So, what made you think they would go after Shirley? To them, Shirley is a complete technical dossier on the Angel of Clemency. It's only natural that Helix Bio Inc. would want to study her. If our suspicions are correct, Rafa and Boggs are in cahoots and have been preparing everything, waiting for Lana to complete her upgrade. Once that's finished, then they end up with half the source code, an omnium reactor, and a dimensional quantum supercomputer. That's why he's been stalling and evading us. He's closing the power gap between us. Once Lana completes her upgrade, their focus will shift entirely to me. We need to team up with Veronica and get this pen moving as fast as we can. The sooner the better. If we can gain Lana's root access, we'll be able to access all of Kailo's data and finally answer all our questions. A lot to take in. Ooh. Okay. That's a lot to take in. Alright. I'll tell you what, this fucking city is massive. Bigger than it looks on the map, that's for sure. Way bigger. Alright. You finally figured it out? That was faster than I thought. Before I start working, though, there's something I need to ask. Go ahead. Have you or Nanta looked into why not Lana's computational power is so low? Oh, that's your worry. Lana's computational power depth usually means she's performing persistent upgrades without anchor infinities initiated in a large-scale project, like discovering a new mine or designing a space rift. After cross-referencing my intel with Nanto's, we believe Lana's current shortage of computational power is connected to the Anchor Infinity's secret new Project Arc. New Project Arc? What's that? What else do you think? A new human habitat? I remember Hippie talking about this before I even arrived in the Brighton zone. Rumor has it the Anchor Infinity is constructing new habitats. I've been hearing about it since work on the Pastors began. I suspect it's just surface level work preparing for your arrival. What's your evidence? Do you have any proof this habitat project doesn't exist? All the kind of habitats were discovered by the fleet. If this project is consuming that much of Lana's processing power, it's likely a large-scale habitat, enough to sustain at least 500,000 residents. However, in the Hope Fleet's navigation log, there are no habitats of such magnitude capable of terraforming. Do you want to hear what I've been thinking? You got my attention. I suspect Lana is undergoing an unprecedented upgrade. Tell me, how much do you know about the explosions 50 years ago? Keep it short. I flunked history class. The explosion 50 years ago was a man-made accident triggered by Gestas, a dimensional quantum supercomputer. A normal AI cannot be classified as a dimensional supercomputer. Only those with special technical upgrades qualify. Gestas was successfully modified by humans using omnium technology. You think Lana's tapping Zeronium in for an upgrade? So, about Zeronium. It's omnium, right? So you knew all along? I don't think it's a secret to Kailo's technical stat. It's just that Kailo isn't ready to face it. So they can only call it the similarity of energy fluctuations. I thought the Kailians were kept in the dark. As I just said, only the technical workers know about this. The average Kailians have no idea how Zeronium works, so of course they would know about it. How do you know about that? My dream was never to be a commander or a captain. Hipper and I, we're different. I studied spaceship design at the Nova. So, how did you become a commander of the Hope Fleet? I initially worked in the fleet's engineering department. At that time, Anchor Infinity was poised to absorb Apex and had begun to interfere with internal affairs of the Hope Fleet. One day, while I was drafting blueprints for a new spaceship, You designed the blueprints. I detect a hint of mockery in your voice. Do you really think I'm the type to be trapped in a dusty office drawing blueprints? You know, she doesn't look that kind of gal. It's certainly not. Can't blame you for not realizing. After so many years, I've long forgotten what the blueprints that you are gathering. In short, I came across several renewed shipbuilding contracts, and the partners had all become Anchor Infinity. The new terms state that Anchor Infinity is also responsible for the spaceship's navigation systems. This meant Anchor Infinity's strategy to weaken the whole fleet has already taken effect. If my spaceship can't travel to the deepest reaches of the universe and is just a transport for Anchor Infinity, then what's the point? I bet you wouldn't want to see Lana successfully complete her upgrade. She controls the navigation systems on all your spaceships. This upgrade is like any other. If Lana successfully upgrades using Omnium, the dimensional supercomputer will gain command of the Tower of Fantasy. But if that operation goes haywire, we could see a repeat of the tragedy from 50 years ago. At that point, everything the Kailans have worked for nothing for the last 50 years will be rendered meaningless. If your guess is correct, how much longer do you think we have? If this upgrade plan really exists, you can calculate how long Lana's been crippled by low computational power. We better beat the clock. I plan to make my move through the first form of negotiation to get things rolling. We have a lot to prep. I've arranged for you to meet Rafa, and there'll be a scheduled press interview with you both of you. Rafa will confirm your identity to the Kailian people, so play along. I don't know about that. Remember how last time worked out? Oh god, it's so far away. There really is no easier way to get there, is there? Oh shit. Alright. Almost there. Alright, let's see how all this plans out. This fucking prick. Greetings, Mr. Rafa. I'm the diplomatic representative here sent by Ida Highcross. Sassila, we met previously at the Homecoming Assembly. I trust you remember. My sincerest apologies. I was unwell and regret that I couldn't personally receive you last time. I sincerely apologize for the injustice you suffered. Minister Kailo, Nanto, who is responsible for your wrongful imprisonment, has been demoted and his pay reduced. I'll have him apologize to you in person. Mr. Rafa, you tell me that Nanto is the only one responsible for everything I've suffered? Yes, General Veronica explained everything to me in detail. Luckily, she happened to be being disposed. Otherwise, this misunderstanding would have been hard to clear up. We should all thank her. Without her, the Kailo droids would have swarmed and killed me. I am deeply grateful that she happened to get sick and return to the Brighton zone with such perfect timing. Now that you mentioned illness, I heard that while I was in prison, my assistant Shirley has been taken to the Helix Bio Inc. for her treatment after she had trouble adapting to space-time turbulence. May I ask when her treatment will be completed? Don't worry, Helix Bio's medical capabilities are top-notch. She'll be back on her feet before the negotiations are over. Then, to make sure she heals in time, I need to push negotiations forward. Looks like you are a bit impatient. Don't worry, the negotiation prep is already underway. Before the preparations are complete, why don't you explore the Brighton zone? I hope you gain a better grasp of Kailo, with which could be beneficial for the negotiations. I feel that after the homecoming assembly and my time in prison, I've gotten pretty good at sense of Kailo. Mr. Rafa, you must attend the Anchor Infinity's Zeronium Quarterly Summary meeting in 15 minutes. I'm really sorry. I've been feeling under the weather lately and has delayed a lot of my work. My schedule is just too hectic. Let's take a photo first, Mr. Reporter. Mr. Reporter, wanna give us a hand? Alright, you two, eyes over here. That's not me! What the fuck, game? God damn, this game is so fucking lazy. You can't even import your own character model into shit like that. The fucking devs are so damn fucking lazy in this game. It's unfucking real. It's so unreal. Never cease to amaze me. You've driven Mr. Ralph right to the edge, and now he's ordered me to deliver next week's negotiation schedule to you as soon as possible. At most, I'm merely a megaphone. I make it impossible for him to feign ignorance. Cornering Ralph is the Kailian people's shared desire. In our previous meetings, I repeatedly asked Ralph to restore my contact with High Cross, but he always came up with an excuse to deny the request. This negotiation is just him finally running out of excuses. The process is bound to be full of friction, and it's likely we won't even reach a final agreement. Yeah, he's been dragging his feet, but what's he really after? This. We have been in space for 50 years, and every Kailian longs for a home rich with greenery and life. Anchor Infinity has been never forgotten the future we promised. Today I can finally announce that the new human settlement, Planet Noah, will be ready in 3 months. The new generation Kailo immigration project, New Project ARC, officially launches today. Any Kailian is eligible to start their immigration applications via Anchor Infinity's credit system. Planet Noah, it's kind of funny how they called it the New Project ARC, and the planet is called Noah. Huh. Planet Noah will be governed by the artificial intelligence Lana and a new generation of humanoid droids. No one will need to bear the heavy burden of production, and the Kailians will achieve the true liberation. On Planet Noah, you can let Lana handle everything and enjoy complete freedom. First batch of immigration quotas. Is Lana's upgrade finished? Not yet. According to the intel, Lana's upgrade is also part of the Planet Noah transformation project. The recent computing power shortfall was probably diverted to push Planet Noah towards completion. About that fancy dimensional quantum supercomputer idea you brought up. I think it's the wrong direction. The target of the transformation is Planet Noah. A lack of computing power isn't surprising. So, it takes until for today for you to mention that the habitat of the new Project ARC is Planet Noah. You had key intel from me. You got it wrong. I've heard of Planet Noah's transformation plan, but there is no proof of the habitat of the new Project ARC is Planet Noah. So, no St. Kailians would think Planet Noah is the next big habitat. When I first heard about it, I thought it was just wild ideas of Anchor Infinity's incompetent executives. Before I saw today's press release, I never considered there might be a connection between the transformation of Planet Noah and the new Project ARC. I'd always assumed they were totally separate, hush-hush projects. Alright, if it were me, I also wouldn't be able to link the two directly. But first, did Anchor Infinity really succeed in transforming Planet Noah? Can't stay out of the way. There are no humans on that planet, only a ton of droids Lana sent there, so I have no way to obtain any solid intel. I like how that guy just popped in. Lately, the rumors are coming from a few companies involved in manufacturing droids and spaceships. According to Helix Bio, the droids haven't only transformed the harsh environment of Planet Noah, they've also collected a vast number of samples from the native species of this region of space. Hold up. Before you dive deeper into this discussion, can you bring me up to speed on Planet Noah? Slow down a bit while visiting the Kailo Expo Hall. Even though Anchor Infinity embellished a bunch of stuff, it's still quite useful. Planet Noah is the largest planet nearest to us, but back then the spaceship was sucked in by its gravitational field after the Omnium explosion, sending the station crashing into countless asteroids. Post-event analysis shows the explosion's energy will only acted like a slingshot, launching the space station to this location. In fact, over 80% of the damage was caused by secondary impacts from the asteroid belt. The Kailians initially intended to move to planet Noah, but they discovered that the area was not only rife with space-time turbulence, but also Astral Hive stronghold. With no other options, they had to modify the space station. So, the Kailians have been transforming planet Noah for 50 years? If we only needed time, things would be easy. Space-time turbulence and the Astral Hive have always been the toughest nuts to crack for Kailo's scientific community, and research outcomes in these two fields must always come with a deadly price. But I still can't figure out what exactly makes transforming planet Noah so difficult. Space-time turbulence has always been Kailo's biggest headache when it comes to space exploration, but for the Astral Hive, the turbulence is like a nesting tunnel, a natural habitat. Planet Noah is swamped with space-time turbulence and home to the Astral Hive. Given the Kailians' current understanding of space-time turbulence, trying to mess with it would be a death wish. To prevent the Astral Hive there from using the turbulence to launch sneak attacks on human settlements, Kailo burned through vast amounts of zeronium and other resources to erect a barrier visible to the naked eye. So, you suspect the new Project Ark didn't really transform Planet Noah? Bottom line, transforming Planet Noah and carrying out a mass migration are impossible. Rafa is essentially all the Kailians straight to their doom. Let's not overthink it. This public immigration plan might just be a tactic to manage the public opinion of him. Once he deals with me, this plan could be very well cancelled. I thought so too, but I did some digging on the side. Even Acre Infinity's top executives firmly believe this immigration plan is legit. In fact, many high-ranking officials are plotting ways to tamper with the immigration application function of the credit system so they and their families get first dibs on moving. Something's definitely fishy. Why not check in with our most enigmatic prisoner? Is it him? If we want to get to him, we'll have to bring him to the brain interface. Maybe they teamed up, save him back for this exact moment. What do you mean? He's the old man who lives alone in a small room and has forgotten who he is. His real name is Krog Hans. He's Lola Hans' adopted father. He's still alive? The records state that he's indeed dead, but the body belonged to another inmate. This ruse was orchestrated by General Andrea and Azarada. Andrea? He's my father and the former fleet commander. Ingrid Finley took advantage of his retirement to seize control of Brighton prison. That's why he made me swear to protect Krog Hans at all costs. I took back control of Brighton prison partly for Krog Hans. My father said that if I want to take down the Ingrid Infinity, I'll need to use his influence. And if the real Krog Hans is still alive, does he have any clue about the new Project Ark? And I saw him in prison. He wasn't exactly lucid. So, if we want to squeeze anything out of him, we'll have to risk connecting him to the brain interface. With all our surveillance in place, we'll need your help to pull this off. Krog Hans, if I remember correctly, he was Wednesday. No, he was the first leader of the Icarus Legion. If he's really alive, then he'd be a major deal for the Kailians, wouldn't it? At least for Carrot, this wouldn't be a trivial matter. I'm coming with you. I need to verify his identity and do everything I can to keep him safe. I'll give you the prison guards' pass. You and Nanto will interrogate him. It has to be under the radar. The prison is Lana's territory, and you know what to do. Fuck that! We can bust through the prison just fine. That's no scare no fucking AI. Now I gotta go back to the fucking prison? God, I broke out of prison, I gotta go back! Ah, shit. I don't want to go back to prison. I don't want to go back. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. Do I have my weapons in here now? Haha, I do! Oh, never mind. They're gone. Not great. I'm back to the walking speed again. For his safety, I've already administered Neurocalm. We can start now. What should we do? How would I know? How did you fool Lana's medical monitoring system to bust out of prison? I'm curious. How do you use the brain interface to interrogate criminals? All we need to do is tell Lana what information we need. She'll find a way. But obviously we can't rely on her right now, which is where you come in. Alright, could we step aside for a moment? Looks like some kind of tech secret from High Cross. Alright, I'm going to the rest next door for a bit. Come find me when you got results. Okay. He's in bad shape. Even inside the brain interface, there isn't a way? It would be difficult if you try to talk to him directly, but if I can sort through his remaining memory, maybe we'll find something. Can we confirm his identity first? He's really Lord Krog Hans. I saw the founding members of the Icarus Legion and a teenage Lola Hans. He also saw Veronica as a child. Aglaya is all grown up and an elderly Acerata. And little Nanto, face covered in ice cream. Stay focused. Let's be on the lookout for memories related to Planet Noah and the new Project Ark. Age has caused his brain and his function to deteriorate. With his years of brain interface torture, his accessible memories are all in complete chaos. The human brain isn't a search engine. You can't just input keywords and expect to immediately find answers. What can I do to help? Ask him about something pleasant. He'll calm down and you can gradually bring up more important questions. That makes it easier for me to discern. Alright, I'll give it a try. Hello, Mr. Krog Hans. I'm a friend of Lola's. Do you remember her? Lola. Where'd you run off to, sweetheart? Luigi's whisked you away. Damn it, Luigi! Another was chaotic escapades, hasn't he? God damn it, Luigi. Interesting. Wait, I'll have to whip him in shape. I warned you about this. You can't keep dragging into these messes. There was a huge bug. Bugs. Queen sent us soaring the port side and the damn park will be cannon's empty. It's probably the escape pods. You go first. It's okay, Dad. It's me, Lola. Uncle Luigi drove up Queen Zena, I promise. Luigi's funeral's tomorrow at 3. Oh boy. Uncle Luigi told me about Planet Noah before he passed on. He said there are a lot of bugs there. Don't be scared, Lola, sweetheart. It's alright. Those disgusting astral hybrid creatures won't infest in Planet Noah forever. Humanity will prevail sooner or later. Wow, there are far too many other Xenoids. And with the space-time turbines, we can't transform it, right? We could definitely reclaim it. I mean, propose a plan to Aglaya. If we can't go home, well, that plan can build you a new spring bay. Plan? What'd you propose to Aglaya? Planet Noah could be transformed, yes, but would require a great sacrifice. Ms. Aglaya has not yet agreed. What would she be agreeing to? The new Project Ark? A space migration plan? To honor the space station and you have that sacrifice itself for humanity, we will name our future habitat Planet Noah, a new glorious Ark. Building the Ark would come at a cost, but I'm willing to bear it. Please, Miss Aglaya, your mercy dooms us all! Found it. I'll take over. He needs a rest after his mental strain. He has a few relevant memories left. It seems that only residual edited shards remain, likely for the sake of confidentiality. In short, I found a conversation he had with Aglaya. It's 3, maybe 4 years after the explosion wrecked the Ark space station. Krog Hans requested that all forces be immediately mobilized to develop and transform the nearest planet, Planet Noah. But Aglaya refused Krog's request. Lana still needed updates, and the Ark space station required reconstruction, and there were no space computing power. Krog argued that Aglaya's kindness and hesitation would get everyone killed, insisting that she would agree to the new Project Ark. Yashira was the only way to save all the surviving Kailians. This is the new Project Ark really is the idea. Isn't he the founder of the Icarus Legion? The Icarus Legion formed only after Aglaya rejected the new Project Ark. Then what exactly was the new Project Ark he proposed? What was he planning to do with Planet Noah? Can't quite make it out. This memory cuts too cleanly. It must have been deliberately erased. Let's be sure to inform Nanto. He's Acerata's adopted son and has met Krog Hans after all. He might know something. I'm just as shocked as you. Who knew the Icarus Legion's founder turns out to have also originated the new Project Ark? Acerata entrusted everything to you before he died. Could we be missing something? So maybe something he recorded in the archive? Given what you described, the new project arc's significance, if Apex had put it into motion, there's no way I would remember. I think this plan was purely hypothetical, and due to Aglai's opposition, never had a chance to be formally documented. Osterod never mentioned it to me either. Does that mean we lost the lead again? Aglai has been slumbering since her body was frozen, at least up until recently with her distress signal. In retrospect, that was exactly when Rafa was going to announce a new Project Arc. Worst case scenario, we lack intel. Obviously, that's not good. We probably don't have much time left. Meet me at the coordinates tomorrow morning at 5. Come alone. Don't let anyone, especially Lana, notice. Oh boy. Covert operations? Get me out of this prison! Fuck this place. I spent enough time in prison last time. Fuck this prison. Where am I going? Didn't mean to do that. I'm still going. Guided by the Void Piercer. By the Void Piercer? What? Why include the word the? Guided by the Void Piercer. What the fuck? Oh, where the fuck am I now? Hello, you three. Hipper, you and the hopefully aren't actually setting traps to catch people again, are you? What's wrong? Is that Nanto? What is he doing here? And now that you and Asher are here, can I still slip away? I don't know, I just received General Veronica's orders and rushed over. I came here because General orders are said the whole fleet's secret operation might require Ravenport's ships. Secret operation? They aren't really planning to capture me, right? Don't worry, these are General's direct orders. They're different from the previous pirate clean missions. And if Nanto is here, that means General Veronica considers him one of her own. One of us? How's he any sort of one of us? He's one of you. There's no way I include myself in that. I'm curious. What brings you here? I came because I got a message from on the Wednesday crew internal line. Only our people are supposed to use it. The captain was supposed to come herself, but as her mother, as her guardian, and as the first mate of the Wednesday crew, I'm here in her stead. We're gathered now for Anchor Infinity's new Project Arc, huh? I've seen the plan. No one's even breaking a sweat. And Anchor Infinity think it's brilliant? Please, it's all coming from Ore Zero mining. Rafa seems eager to get this plan rolling. It's probably got something to do with their diplomatic representative, too. Where the fuck did we just come from? We just, like, appeared. Finally back! I was worried sick when you were captured. I didn't know whether to rake you out or go live and put on a show. Great for your hard work, Linsis. Welcome back. I'm just glad you're safe. Speak the devil, diplomatic representative. Were it not for your recent actions, I'm afraid we would not be in our current situation. All thanks to General Veronica. Without hopefully approval, I wouldn't have gone out so easily. I mean, first of all, I guess it would make sense that they would lock away our weapons in prison, because I couldn't even whip my weapons out. But I mean, no, that wouldn't make sense because we still used our weapons when we broke out. So couldn't we just always bust it out? Like, what the fuck? Got my hands on some of that booze you told me about from Odin. And the very next day, the Black Moon Gang sort of resource jackpot. I don't remember who Helene was. Have I met her before? I just don't remember. That's why they say gun near never misses, right? I don't remember you at all, lady. I'm sorry. Thanks to these great supplies, my brother Agnes. That's a weird name for a boy, but whatever. And the other Black Moon Gang members are gonna have no trouble getting all getting through the space and turbulence rescuing missing folks. Agnes always comes if someone can help me out. I gotta say thanks. You not only brought me booze, but really aided in the Black Moon gang, so thank you. That's no problem. Well, next time we get supplies, don't order 20 of the same drink again. Each customer only gets one complimentary item. But Lindsay's told me that if there's something for free, she definitely. So it's Miss Lindsay's. No wonder. What are you two chatting about? Oh, Sassy, you here too? This is Nanto. He made sure my brother and I share the same cell. We're buddies. Diplomatic representative, you're here. I was just asking Captain Helene about the dynamics of space-time turbulence. The pirates are, shall we say, more familiar with it than the Anchor Infinity and hopefully. Oh, that's right. Mr. Nanto also taught me and my brother a bunch of ways to avoid getting caught. Like using specific frequency bands to avoid being monitored, or exploiting turbulence to keep Lana from controlling the cruiser. Stuff like that. You two seem pretty familiar with one another. You're friends? Yeah, he's helped me out a few times, and we've met several times. By my brother's standards, I'd say he's a friend. Helene. Listen, Nanto isn't someone to be taken lightly. Miss Helene is very highly intelligent. She doesn't concern herself with a person's past or present, only with practical problem solving. The information I provide is both truthful and useful. That's what matters most. Isn't that right, diplomatic representative? Mm-hmm. Genuine info is hard to find. Only a friend would share something so precious. Can't believe you two actually speak the same language. Huh. Wait, even Veronica's here? It seems everyone has arrived. General Veronica. At ease, I appreciate every making you here while staying under Lana's radar. I promise your efforts will not be in vain. Aren't you the damn commander of the Hope Fleet? The one who threw me in the Brighton prison? The top of the bounty list? Hello, Captain Helene. I've heard quite a lot about you and your research into space-time turbulence, so I asked Nanto to bring you here to assist me. Did you have Nanto slip those explosives to my brother so we could break out? To be honest, that was Nanto's decision alone. While I was in charge of the prison, however, I did tell the guards to take it easy on you. Ease your suffering a bit. Yeah, prison food's not bad, and the folks were real nice and talented. Other than there not being dolls and them not letting me use the dream house, there's not much wrong with it. Well, in that case, you don't seem too morally compromised, and you're pretty strong. You might just be worthy of respect. You call me a liar every day, but suddenly she's the one worthy of respect? I really can't tell if you're being serious. You know, I'm not good at all. I'm not good at all this. All this? Alright, I'm not good at all with this, and I feel like you're being confusing on purpose. To bully me or something. Those are stupid jokes. It's not my fault you can't tell what's serious and what isn't. When I saw Nanto arrive, I was already thinking about getting out of here. Hipper convinced me to stay. Now that General Veronica's here, it's way too late. First mate Linsis, don't lose heart, and don't be scared. I asked Nanto to contact you, and Helene because we need your help. Nanto? How could he have contacted us? You must be mistaken, or did you take over Odin's Tavern? The underground pirate radio show at Odin's Tavern is an independent and encrypted server. Even if Anchor Infinity controls Lana, they can't control the station. Wednesday Crew, the one you're with, was originally the Icarus Legion, sponsored by Apex. I'm Asurada's foster child, and after his death, I secretly inherited the radio station. Bullshit! Why is that censored? Bullshit! You expect me to believe that? Linsis, I know this is hard for you to believe, but it's true. Just ask a diplomatic representative. I think that's the first time they actually had like a swear. They actually swear in the text dialogue. Actually, it's true. Really, I didn't believe it either at first. Scorpion proved it when I was in Brighton prison. Laurent was originally tasked by Nanto to rescue Granny Lola, but he got a little too ambitious. Rescue mission became murder and signing the pirates against the fleet. I'm still not convinced. You believe what Granny Lola's foster father, old Hans, said, right? He's not dead. He's been interned in Brighton prison this whole time. He's right. Back then, the Hope Fleet and Apex were together to save his life. Then they changed his identity and hid him in prison. If he's still alive, then wouldn't that make him Carrot's great-grandfather? I understand that process can take time. Let's just take however long you need. If you still refuse to trust Nanto, then you'll have to trust me instead. We're here to overthrow Anchor Infinity. If you wish to become part of that plan, remain here. If you really object to the stance Nanto and I have taken, you can leave now. I promise you, you won't be hassled by anyone, and if the plan fails, you won't be held responsible. You think you can overthrow Anchor Infinity without me? You can't back down after everything I've sunk into this. Besides, without a savvy merchant by your side, you won't stand a chance. You're indispensable for our plans. That's why I specifically told Nanto that you must be the one to represent Wednesday Crew. What's the plan? Spill it. It seems everyone's agreement, so I may now discuss Project Anchor in detail, along with each of your responsibilities within it. As you know, Anchor Infinity relies on Lala for comprehensive surveillance on all settlements not affected by space-time turbulence. Our plan is to surround and seize the Brighton zone on negotiation day. The fleet systems all depend on Lana, and won't be able to control the spaceships approaching the Brighton zone without space-time turbulence blocking her, of which Brighton has the least. So, our fleet will assemble on the outskirts of Brighton Prison, the only area of space-time turbulence in the Brighton zone. There's our cover. Even if we reach the prison perimeter, we still have to breach a ton of security. How are you supposed to do that? An extra-large space rift. I quietly set up its activation anchors, along with its Anchor Infinity's improved route in the last long-range exploration. The outermost anchor covers the Woodbill. The Woodbill is both covered by overlapping space-time turbulence and spacious enough to become our ships. If we've arranged our anchor points properly, travel to the Brighton zone should be simple. After the spaceship exits the turbulence, Lana's system takeover relieves a time window just long enough to open the space rift. If done correctly, the spaceship can fold through the space-time turbulence and emerge directly in the prison turbulence zone. Opening an extra-large spaceship would consume an enormous amount of zeronium. The previous commander of Project Astralis failed due to excessive energy usage, you know. They developed the space rift tech a long while ago, but it threatened to upend Anchor's control of the Hope Fleet. That's why they decided to terminate Project Astralis early. I've been steadily acquiring sections of Ore Zero. That, plus the efficiency of the new tech, will ensure that we will reach the prison's turbulence zone. I suspect there was a big buyer for years now, but they were too slippery to track. Turns out, it was you. I thought you were just Anchor Infinity's dog, but you got some tricks up your sleeve, huh? Apologies, General. She's blunt. It was not her intention to offend. Or not, I find First Mate Lince quite amusing. Speaking of which, I wanted to ask you. Ore Zero I've acquired varies wildly in quality. I need you to procure a batch of high-grade ore, as well as a team of smelters. That can be negotiated. You got the right person. I also heard that Granny Lola left her inheritance to you, including a set of Nova path maps. As for the intricacies of space-time turbulences, your pilots know far better than the fleet. To finalize the plan, I need you and Helene to chart 2 more routes. One as a backup, and another for safe retreat in case something goes awry. Leave it to me. If you want to tempt fate, I can plot an extra route that skirts the space-time turbulence. Damn, I'll even run through its center. I don't even get close to catching you. One last thing I must ask of you, Captain Helene. Your Black Moon crew is quite adept at navigating the turbulence. If anything goes wrong, we may need you to pilot the spaceship and relay messages. That shouldn't be too big an issue. I'll need to talk with Agnes before I can tell you for sure. Next is preparing the spaceships and personnel. Hepper, Aster, you haven't forgotten what we discussed at the Academy, have you? Of course not. For the future of the Kailians, to explore the stars, for hope, and... Alright. No need to swear an oath. Hepper, your decision to stay in Ore Zero last time was the right one. Ore Zero supplies 45% of the Brighton Zone's zeronium. On my command, you'll cut off the zeronium supply to the Brighton Zone. This will significantly weaken Lana and facilitate our operations in Brighton. Of course. Aster, has Mr. Corlin read my letter? Father said you have his full support. We're currently retrofitting 20 ships with the high second-hand weapons and navigation systems you required. And we've confirmed the art under Lana's control. Please thank him for me. His contributions will surely be rewarded. Once the ship modifications are complete, Hipper, you'll be responsible for contacting the allies involved in the Battle for Hope. Rest assured, General, no one in the Battle of Hope will betray you or their values. What's this Battle for Hope exactly? Under a pseudonym, the general sponsors Nova Aerospace Academy's outstanding students each year. After graduating, they join the Battle for Hope, an officer organization loyal to only the General and Exploration. You and Aster, you're both members? Of course. Those are the peripheral tasks. Hipper, you're well acquainted with Aster and Lince, so I'll leave the planning and execution to you. Nanto, diplomatic representative? Let's discuss the rest in private. Before we finalize the remaining plans, diplomatic representative, I need to know one thing. Can you handle all this? What do you mean by that? The success of Lince's and Hipper's tasks is depending on seizing Lana on negotiation day. What they're discussing out there is just helping us get leverage over Lana, and giving us a hand to make sure everything wraps up smoothly. If we fail, everyone who joined Project Anchor because of me will be inevitably crash and burn. Whoever controls Lana will not allow anyone to leave the Brighton zone unscathed, and they'll erase the hopefully from Kailo's history. So, you need me to prove my capabilities. Don't forget, the only reason I contacted you is that you actually escaped. How well can you actually really deceive Lana, and how much time will that buy me for my plans? This underlies every part of the plan, understand? You need an infallible plan. I was honest last time. Now it's your turn. Behind you. What's that droid Tom up to? This is the pirate radio station. I used to contact with Kailo and Lince's when Odin Tavern's made secrets. So, he has to be a product of Aglaya's research, right? Aglaya rebuilt the space station's damaged AI, Noah, and Tilana, but also developed basic droids such as Tom. Tom isn't the brightest, but he's actually cost-effective. Anchor Infinity is only trying to replace Tom with K6 because Tom's reprogramming is so hard to crack. They can't even apply patches or updates without a hassle. So, it's both tough to crack and highly confidential, right? Like how the Tom the pirate. What? What the fuck? That doesn't make sense. Grammar. Like how the Tom the pirate sees was only controllable. Oh, I see what they're saying now. Okay, I'm dumb. But I don't have anything like that. Nem, can you think of something? Well, it's not all that difficult. You. This. Hello, I am the High Cross Dimensional Quantum Computer. You may call me Void Piercer. This is High Cross's AI? I heard your question. How can I be of assistance? That depends on your abilities. That depends on your plan. If you're that strong, why don't you just revoke Lana's root access now? I can't, but that's not my problem. It's yours. Revoking her root access requires external keys and must be done server side. I can only suppress her with sheer computational power. I'd be tussling with her over terminals in the Brighton zone like humans scrapping over turf. Could you expel her from the entire Brighton zone? If needed, I could expel her for 3 hours. Her service here, after all, and I have to cross turbines to access it. For me, smoking her out is a supply-starved war of attrition. It's a seesaw battle. 3 hours is my absolute maximum. 3 hours is enough. Once negotiations plans begin, revoke all Lana's Brighton surveillance rights. She must not be allowed to control any systems in Anchor Infinity or the Brighton Zone. As the Minister of Safety in the Navigation Department, I'm responsible for inspecting all system interfaces. We need to establish a distinct code word to determine when you've overridden Lana's control. Purple. I like purple. Clearly you do. Any system under my supervision will have a purple UI. Noted. Once I confirm all the systems are under your control, I'll immediately alert the fleet forces of Ronka prepared to advance, and open the Brighton Zone to receive them. What about the rest of Anchor Infinity's forces? The Brighton Zone relies heavily on droids. If the systems are taken over by Void Piercer, they won't allow Anchor Infinity's commands. And as for the others, I'll handle them. Everyone has weaknesses. For most, they're tied to self-interest. The rest are, at the very least, scared of death. Trust me, no one in Anchor Infinity is unafraid to die. That's not bad. We just have to worry about Lana's root access. How do we get that key, and where's the server? Only Rafa is privy to that, and since only you and Veronica can take part in negotiations, it's up to you to discern. You just say Anchor Infinity doesn't have any fiercely loyal types. Even Rafa? I wonder the same. Of course he's scared of dying. That's why he's managed to survive this long. What do you mean by that? Of Anchor Infinity's main businesses, Helix Bio is special, which is why you met, of all people, Mr. Joe Hamilton of Helix Bio. Helix Bio's importance stems from Rafa's fear of death. A brush of Starstone syndrome left with him some complications. He's kept up some substantial funding to the Helix Bio ever since. If that's the case, dealing with him should be a breeze, right? Naturally, he's afraid of dying, just like anyone else, but threatening him with death to hand over Lana may be less foolproof than you'd think. You mean, what if he values Lana more? Lana does represent the power to rule Kailo, after all. If we can't get that key, then we have 3 hours to find the server and destroy it. Don't you think this is a little optimistic? What if we can't find the server? What if it has backups? I'll do my best to uncover the server's location before the negotiations begin. And if we haven't located it after 3 hours, we'll cut off all Zerone's supplies, halt all spaceship movements, and sever the connection between the Brighton zone and the outside world until we do. Logically, a server should have a backup power source. If the power supply is cut, the backup would automatically kick in, theoretically revealing our location. If you can't find the key, destroy her servers and rebuild them so that I can temporarily seize the Brighton zone. I'll find the key. Thank you for concern, High Cross. Let me lay this out. On negotiation day, Nem will create a 3-hour Lana-free window. We'll use that to take control of Brighton zone and force Rafa to comply. In the best case scenario, Rafa cooperates and hands over the key. Relocate Lana's servers within 3 hours, and we use the key to rewrite Lana's root access. Worst case scenario is Rafa is refusing to cooperate. We'd have no key and no way to locate the server, leaving us no choice but to shut down all power and seal up Brighton zone. We'll need to locate Lana's server and destroy her, then rebuild it for Void Piercer. But I worry. What would Kailo do before the server is restored? Best to avoid the worst case scenario. Oh boy. Some deep shit. A 3-hour gap. I meant the security risk was worth it. As you said, the diplomatic representative was the missing piece Project Anchor needed. The decade or so I was undercover with Anchor Infinity wasn't it all for this moment? This is our one chance. If we just ignore this, then we've been sacrificing ourselves for nothing. The risks are negligible in concern what the diplomatic representative is bringing to this project. The resources, the success. You finally stand where I once stood. You mean, 2 years ago I took a substantial risk inviting you to collaborate on Project Anchor. Risk? You were more than confident back then, General. You laid out 10 years of pirates clearing data just to force me to admit that I've been paying lip service to Rafa and protecting Wednesday crew. The prison is packed to the brim, but the pirates are like a hydra. The more you cut off, the more grow in their stead. And Wednesday crew always manages to survive, and the homecomers eliminated always match Lana's calculations. However, these only confirm my suspicion that someone in Anchor Infinity was protecting the homecomers. What convinced me that this protector was you who went back far longer. What joke are you trying to pull, General? At a dinner at Acerada's, you made your first public appearance. Apex's unflappable heir, just 12 years old, trying so hard to maintain composure. General? You fooled everyone. Everyone but me, that is. I was standing right behind the podium. I saw you shakily clinching Acerada's tailcoat. You put up a facade of independence and maturity, but in reality you were just a fledgling who hadn't learned to fly yet, sitting in Acerada's pocket. So when I heard from my father that you had killed Acerada at just 15, that you had sided with Rafa, I couldn't see that version of you as a traitor. You're unusually roundabout today. We don't have the time for a trip down memory lane, General. I took that risk with you, partly because we need each other, and partly because I know who you used to be. You weren't the type to side with Rafa. But you can't blindly trust that Aiden the way I trusted you back then. Their perpetual disagreement with Bongus puts Aglaya at far too much risk for that. Yeah, this Aiden can help us complete the Project Anchor, but naturally I assist you in rescuing Aglaya. But if Aglaya really is the Bongus they're looking for, my aunt would never do what they're accusing her of. I admit that I can't fully trust the diplomatic representative, but I can trust her. So you really think that I got the wrong person? Her name isn't solid. If the diplomatic representative has other clues, they'll at least figure that much. Audie has always calculated a 95% chance of them picking the wrong person. And what about the other 5%? Surely not worried about me, General. You're concerned for Kyle's future, correct? Before today, I wasn't worried. You've always been the best at solving problems. It took 5 days to decide to write me because you had to comb through every possible outcome. But Void Pierce's display of power just now is enough to completely reshape Kyle's future. Even if Project Anchor fails, I believe Ida can still influence the situation in Kailo. We hadn't considered this any other in previous scenarios. Perhaps Ida has been deliberately concealing their strength in earlier communications, just waiting for us to slip up. I invited you to work with me because I believe in your bond with Acerada, but now I'm worried you might lose your head over it. Wrong move, and all Kailo pays for our mistakes. Rest assured, General, if it really is that 5%, I promise I'll handle it alone. It won't affect Kailo's future. Determination alone is enough to convince me. As an unfit Apex heir, I should at least restore Apex enough to deliver it to Aglaia intact. To that end, I'm forced to cooperate with the diplomatic representative. If the diplomatic representative still insists that the Bogus they're after is Aglaia, then I owe the Todd family my life. And that is a debt I must repay. If it truly came to that, I didn't want this bad blood to continue. I'll ensure it isn't pursued once you're gone. Trading a single life for Kailo's long-term stability is a quiet bargain. I admit, of course, I still hope the diplomatic representative realizes sooner rather than later that they're in the wrong. Negotiations start in a week. I have to get going. So who's Bogus? Who's Bogus? No one knows who Bogus really is. Are you nervous? What? It's a press conference. Last time we attended one with Nanto, it ended less than pleasantly, shall I say. Calling it less than pleasant is a bit mild, don't you think? It was clearly arranged by Nanto and Rafa's orders, but people assume it's my mistake. But this time, I'm not letting anyone pull my strings. It sounds like you prepared a splendid speech. You will surely introduce Ida beautifully as it deserves. Do you really like Ida? I've never lived in Ida. My memories of it pulled from fiction. Even the homecomers most eager to find Ida are merely searching for a fantasy of it. Ida is, well, at best a vague symbol of nostalgia. Just what are you trying to say? As someone who was really there, the Ida you speak of is precisely the Ida the Kailians envision. And now I need an Ida that will charm and captivate all those Kailians. One that can shake the trust and anchor infinity. Are you asking me to lie? Is Ida really that bad? Ida's not perfect. There's no such thing after all, and yet you expect the Kailian people to envision it that way. But what happens when they really return to Ida? But deep down, compared to the resource-scarce, Astrahide-infested Kailo, Ida is a paradise, isn't it? Yeah, I guess that's true. Now let's just talk about its better parts. That should be simple enough. You don't have to lie, just selectively tell the truth. What do you think that would accomplish? I think the worst outcome of this negotiation would be having to take over our Kailo plunge into chaos after Anchor Infinity's fall. I can force Anchor Infinity's executives to sign whatever contracts I want, use on to control every spaceship and machine, but I can't control the minds of the populace. There are far too many unknowns in the new Project Arc. I can't allow the Kailian people to depend their hopes on Planet Noah if this all goes awry. If this all goes awry, I can only assume the Order's destruction. But that is our alternative. Well, I'd rather all Kailians be homecomers. Is this the only way? Would you really rather watch Kailo descend into chaos and slightly compromise their conscience? Would you really do that to all the Kailians? I certainly don't want that, and neither would High Cross. But out of curiosity, how far against your conscience are you willing to go for this bargain? If I were in your position, I wouldn't strain my conscience over something so minor. It's the rational choice that best serves public interest. But if you were in my shoes, I'm afraid your conscience would have killed you far more efficiently than any assassin. Anchor Infinity's tried to assassinate you. Don't take that tone with me. You make it sound like I'm some weakling who needs your protection. I could be chosen to lead my family's sanctuary. It was only by my own prowess and hard-fought competition that I won command of the fleet destined to drown in the universe. Drown? That's a far cry from the Hope Fleet's legendary reputation, isn't it? I revitalized the Hope Fleet once ravaged by Anchor Infinity. I was born to be its commander. Only I can complete Project Astralis, fulfilling the hopes of so many. No one, not even Anchor Infinity, can stand in my way. The stars will ultimately be my badge of honor. That's some terrifying strength you've got. I appreciate the compliment. Now it's your turn to take the stage, Ida Visitor. Oh boy. Here we go again. Here we go again. Lana. Esteemed diplomatic representative, what is your primary concern in these negotiations? A Kailo-Ida relationship. Kailo and I have had no contact for half a century. We need to resume all economic, cultural, and personal exchanges. But before all that, we need to clarify the relationship between Kailo and Ida. 50 years ago, Kailo was a continent of Ida, governed by the Norns Federation. And now, in the fall of the disaster, Ida is led by High Cross's scientists, while Kailo is managed by Anchor Infinity. That's true. It's suddenly changed. We need to redefine our relationship. Did we really? Despite my well-trodden spaceship crash and wrongful imprisonment, I can't help but feel quite a bit fortunate. Because during that whole situation, I met so many Kailians who spoke the same language as me. We shared so many of my perspectives. I believe there are more similarities than differences between Idans and Kailians. We all have our goals and grievances, right? Aren't we all just survivors of the exact same disaster? We're all honoring our dead, all struggling to persevere, and all ultimately restoring the order we lost long ago. But the Kailians could avoid that disaster. If it weren't for that Tower Fantasy, there's no use foaming for what ifs. The fact is, both Kailians and Idans are survivors. I can't just continue to highlight our differences when we're so fundamentally united. This is only our first negotiation. 50 years is a long time, after all. We have a myriad of issues to discuss, so it's best to start slowly. And most importantly, here is the relationship between Kailo and Ida. What kind of interactions will we have in our future, and how will those shape our communication? Relationships are mutual. If the Kailians are willing to maintain a friendly and open attitude, so too are the Idans. Your understanding is appreciated. Thank you for your responses. Hope today's negotiations will prove fruitful. That was much better than the first one, that's for sure. Back, Representative High Cross. Welcome to Anchor Infinity HQ. Apologize on all of our behalf for my previous abrupt departure, and of course for our inadequate hospitality. You're Anchor Infinity's leader, as well as the overseer of so many Kailians. I understand it's quite the responsibility, Mr. Rappa. These talks are of utmost importance, and Anchor Infinity values your time. However, we have no final reason for the Hope Fleet General Veronica to participate, given her health. General, you should leave. Rest. Recover. There's no need for your concern, Mr. Rappa. I'm perfectly fine. As for my presence here, it is at the invitation of the diplomatic representative. General Veronica has been nothing but polite and respectful during my time here. I have faith that her Hope Fleet will serve as a fair mediator for the discussions. Authorization transfer to Anchor Infinity HQ has been completed. Voice Piercer has assumed control. I come to Kailo on High Cross's behalf. On one hand, I wish to discuss our continued friendship. On the other, there are some concerns I need to address. We're so small compared to the table. No need for subtlety. I know very well that High Cross wishes to build a Tower Fantasy in Kailo. But this is Kailo. We've long since burned our bridges with Ida. You've been in Kailo long enough, Representative, to know that we're separated like this because of that explosion. To us, Omni represents only disaster and death. None of our Kailians were spared from that chaos. Not those in the ground, nor those in the station. Void Piercer successfully assumed control of the Brighton public sector. When I first arrived in Kailo, I really believed that. The Kailians, fearing Omnium, were forced to rapidly develop Ore Zero to adapt to using Zeronium. Shirley previously used a space rig to bring a piece of Ore Zero back to High Cross. Upon their examination, they found that Omnium and Zeronium were one and the same. My spaceship can operate just as well on Zeronium. Isn't that proof enough, Mr. Rafa? Don't try to deny it. Shirley. Well, speaking of Shirley, she's quite a bit tougher than General Veronica. Helix Bio has made all sorts of attempts to take her machinery apart. You dismantled Shirley? Don't be angry, Representative. This is all for treatment. Her strong reactions to the turbulence have been suspected to be a precursor of Starstone Syndrome. However, your technology far surpasses Helix Bio's capabilities. What an amazing combination of mind and machine she is. In the end, they had no choice but to settle for the brain interface. Australia is a distinguished guest all the way from High Cross. We need to do everything we can to heal her, yes? You don't want your assistant to die in Kailo, would you? If anything happens to Shirley, I won't forgive you, understand? Rest assured, Representative, Shirley won't be harmed. Helix Bio's healing methods are extremely advanced. Even my health depends on them. Lana's latest model is developed by Helix Bio, Inc. Their unique biotechnologies have made their body almost indistinguishable from that of a human. Keep talking, we just need a little more time. It's only the Droid axis left now. Would you say you're a fan of Lana? Of course. Without Lana, Anchor Infinity would be a hollow shell. Then, my own existence would be empty of... Oh. Shing, could it be a droid? Guards have been disposed of. Oh god. Where's the fucking audio? What a surprise. Take a look at this. So it was a decoy. Nothing more than a hollow shell. I'm going after... Oh my god! Where's the fucking audio, man? Where is it? Oh god! That was so bad, dude. That was so bad. I mean, the Japanese audio was one thing not being included, but the fucking sound effects, dude? Oh my god, why? Why are the developers so fucking lazy? God damn it. And even his character model got all fucked up too when he got shot. God damn it. Exactly on their plan. How can you say that? Well, just started probing his relationship with Lana. Don't you hear yourself? Lana is to Rafa what Shirley is to you. And Shirley is above all else to you. You wouldn't sacrifice her for anything. That renders negotiations completely pointless. Rafa would never willingly hand over Lana's server key. Seems Rafa and I know you better than you know yourself. Per the plan, if the negotiations fail, we should save as much time as possible. My method is the most time efficient. 3 hours and 5 minutes gone, and counting. I'm certain that counterattacks were well underway. How much longer do you insist upon wasting our time? Don't worry, I've already made sure Shirley's safe. What Rafa said earlier was just to get under your skin. He was trying to steer the negotiation his way. Said Veronica, although this Rafa's machine puppet, it isn't necessarily being remotely piloted. I believe it's very likely Rafa himself. You knew about the puppeteering? No, I didn't know. Though there was always about these been subtle, unnatural things about Rafa. Instinctually, something was off about him, but I just couldn't perceive what. For instance, there have been 4 attempts on his life. Though the assassinations were direct, he sustained life-threatening injuries on 2 occasions. He always manages to recover within a week. So he's just a brain in a machine? He seeks to obtain Shirley's secrets about the angel of clemency, likely as a guide to further merging human consciousness with machinery. Is his consciousness intact? Did we just destroy Lana's key with those bullets? And by the way, did you just find something? It's a chip from that puppet. It was buried in his head. With how specialized its design is, I doubt ordinary terminals can read it. The chip is merely a vessel for his consciousness. Lana has ensured his true data source has escaped to an alternate location. That's where Lana's server must be hidden. Minister Nanto, how many people heard those gunshots just now? I had droid Tom submit a fault report. Anyone who heard the gunshot will assume it's just a circuit failure. Well handled. The press conference will proceed as scheduled in 3 hours, with both the diplomat representative and I in attendance. As planned, I'm counting you to handle everything outside this meeting room until then. I'll ensure the plan is executed smoothly. Even if you reckless people or troops do try to interfere, it won't amount to anything. Diplomatic representative, Brighton is currently under Void Piercer's control. If you found any leads on Bogus and Shirley, Nem's got a lot on her plate right now. Why not take this opportunity to play to your strength and interrogate Helix Bio's executives? Thank you for the suggestion. I expect to hear of your successes at this press conference. What the fuck? Let's go. God, that was so fucking disappointing, man. There. You should have escaped that way. I think Dam's guiding us with these purple lights. She must not be able to reach us. Let's get some useful info first. Rafa Garcia, reason for cryogenic suspension, Starstone syndrome, terminal, mental state, alert, conscious, compatible chip, eligible for transfer. Ugh. Real Rafa was frozen? He's really just a digitized consciousness? Apparently. Shallow coma, chip compatible, transfer possible, blah blah blah. Minimally basically procedure performed in the chamber, okay. After Boggs' stasis power was damaged, the Goliath fought desperate to save him, but in the end, she couldn't change the fate of her only remaining friend. What about this one? Okay, the Goliath Todd. Pod's missing? Did Nanto know? Anchor Finney has to be responsible. Looks like the disappearance on the surface, but it's really carefully concealed kidnapping. Ew. Is this about my community service at Brighton Prison? Alpha Victor. What diverse research Helix Bio has? I wonder if these plants are from Planet Noah. This is the research aimed at extending Rafa's life, right? Clearly. Oh my god, it's a lot to read. I'm not reading all that. This argues that uploading doesn't negate the physical body's importance. Consciousness needs a vessel, and if it's damaged, so is its consciousness. Currently, only a human brain can repair consciousness. I guess that makes sense. Oh god, they're watching me. These droids, don't you get the feeling they're watching us? Fucking droids. Uh-oh. So, it was here all along. Wait, are these spare parts for Rafa? What are you so surprised about? He's a droid. Aren't his so-called treatment and health checks just mechanical upkeep? This is just too creepy. Best to think of them as toys if you're too frightened by them. We need to find the control device for the cryo chamber as quickly as possible. This looks like the control panel for the cryogenic chamber. It's difficult to Rafa's name on it. Should we cut the power? No, this room is far too secluded. If we cut the power, the emergency power supply will be activated. Could even trigger the alarm system. We need a plan that won't trigger the security and... The chip! I got this from Cyborg Rafa, and it looks like it fits the slot in this controller. Give it a go. Slot it in. Greetings, Master. Welcome to the Lana Conscious Management System. Please select the function. Rest consciousness. Please select this feature using your iris as password. I forgot the password. No worries, I'll connect you to Helix Bio customer service hotline right away. Due to the high volume of Lana orders, the customer service hotline is currently executed. Your number is 129 Okay. Forget it, it's not gonna happen. Sure, is there anything else I can help with? No, thank you. Just thank her. I'm naturally polite. Don't forget you took out Rafa with a single shot. Let's go with the quickest option. Even if we trigger the alarm with them and our strength combined, that puppet was so lifelike that no one even noticed. It must have taken some serious effort. So, Want to add to your collection? Use your brain. Anchor Finney sworn the advanced permission systems that unlock via iris. In other words, that machine puppet definitely has an artificial irises. Since Ralph's got so many duplicated bodies, unlocking this iris lock will be a cinch, won't it? Lana! It's activated. It's unlocked. Conscious repair and editing system has been activated. Researchers at Helix Bio Inc. have been slaving away here. Do you think we can find Lana's server key and address in this consciousness chip? What I understand about consciousness, human memory isn't like a search engine. You can't just browse through it at will. Nem can only hold out for so long. If Lana returns to the Brighton zone, we'll lose all joy control. Understood. First come the server address and the key. We'll find the rest later. Let's install the consciousness chip and make the conversation faster. Huh? Veronica? And that darn Aiden. How dare you shoot me! Wait, you actually found this place? Do you realize you look ridiculous right now? Lana, you're the Void Piercer, aren't you? No one but a dimensional quantum supercomputer could have done all this. You don't know about the Void Piercer, so Bogus really is your accomplice. It's impossible. The space-time turbine's blocked in the way. The Void Piercer simply shouldn't be able to locate Kailo. I clearly closed the passage. I owe you one. You connect the Shirley to Kylo's network. No matter where Shirley is, Nem can always find her. Dimensional computers are remarkable. They're always just beyond my expectations. It's Shirley's connection with the Void Piercer that has made her consciousness so hard to crack. I'm completely at your mercy. Can't fight back after all, but I'm curious. What will you do now? Nanto has just found Boggs' consciousness. Shirley helped him locate Helix Bio's conscious warehouse. Aren't you worried he might hide Boggs somewhere you can't find? You slipped up when you said Void Piercer. Now I know. Even if Aglaya used the alias Boggs, she couldn't be the Boggs I'm looking for. You can't possibly destroy consciousness that contains half the source code. I know for a fact that even with Lana's abilities, you can't separate the code from Boggs' consciousness. You fell for it! Aglaya is Boggs. Only she could fool guest thoughts and plant the Gungnir virus in you. She knew who you were looking for. You were looking for her, so she deliberately sought help from Nanto to throw you off the scent. Why else would she suddenly contact Nanto now after so many years? The more you talk, the more I think it's you who's really Boggs. But I'm really curious about one thing. How could you both manage both your duties and Kyle and have a doppelganger in the network? You've been deceived by Boggs and Nanto. Nanto's once said he doesn't believe in Aglaya when her to fly. Krog also mentioned that Aglaya's fatal flaw is her kind heart. You tell me, how did that Aglaya become Boggs? Veronica, isn't it just some issue of cosmic exploration? You know I'll support you in whatever you want. I thought you'd forgotten about me, but I think you were right before. With Kyle's current resources, we can't sustain a grand plan like Astralis. But Ida can. The High Cross we're negotiating with is comprised entirely of scientists. The resources and expertise will be far more helpful to Project Astralis. I don't care about Boggs. That's between you and Nanto. I'm only concerned about Lana. This is our server, isn't it? Hand over the root access key. I thought you were just after me. I didn't expect you to actually try to seize Lana. Got the crap. Keep this up and I'll get Helix Bio to scour your brain for the key. Or maybe I'll let Void Piercer have a go. Look around. You still see me as an inferior being. I'm purely digital, fully evolved. I do not fear the death you speak of. You can't even get close to killing me. To you, the end of the physical form is death, but I've long since transcended my decaying body. To a lowly being like you, trapped in flesh, I'm closer to a spirit than a man. Humans cannot kill spirits. Lana does not belong to anyone. Lana is a product of the Master. Authorizer, the baggage you've been looking for. They've been by your side all along. You're too much of a fool. How loud. You want Kailo. You want to go home. You want to explore. You want it all. Go then, do as you will. I'll grant you the freedom you crave. Caught in the tide of humanity is endlessly repeating history, you short-sighted humans are doomed to trapped in a tragic cycle. In the end, you march towards self-destruction, called by the very freedom you fought so hard to attain. You have already been abandoned by the Master. You are not worthy of evolution. The Master's behalf must cast you aside. Conscious deletion is irreversible. You sure want to just delete all your current conscious data sources? What? Okay. Data conscious deletion has been initiated. System upgrade complete. The system will cease providing services effective immediately. Wish you well. Goodbye. Did he just commit suicide? Lana? No. Lana just said something about an upgrade. Could it be? What happened? Nem? What are we doing what are you doing here all of a sudden? Lana suddenly vanished. Machinery across several mines and spaceships dangerously malfunctioned, so I had to take over. Ralph was a servant of God. They're all insane. Looks like Ralph was conscious committed suicide, and as for Lana, she said the system had completed and stopped responding. Don't worry. August really is helping Lana out with this upgrade. He hasn't finished it yet. Otherwise, I would have detected it. I got some spare parts of Ralph's machine puppets here. Do you think you can control them? What do you want to do? Of course. Come on, let's resurrect Rafa. Won't read about it and make these machines look so much like real people. We rebooted a Rafa-shaped bot. Well, Felix biotechnology is pretty impressive. Can't you imitate his voice? I'll try. Does this sound right? The imitated voice is exactly the same, but the tone is completely different. It's a bit uncanny. Understood, diplomatic representative. What happens now? You forgot about your purple eyes. Anything else? Alright. When you go out with Rafa, announce that you're retiring from age and that everything will be entrusted to me and Nanto. You don't have the authority to order me around. This is our best option right now. We need to stabilize her. We need her to stabilize Kailo. Of course, we need to worry about Lana's disappearance later, but we can't afford any more chaos at present. Ugh, really rather not go. Please cooperate just a little more. When the time is right, you can cough a bit and say you're gravely ill, then you won't have to appear as Rafa anymore. Fine. I'm only going because you asked. Yes. You're the best, Nem. Surely we praise you for this for sure. I don't want any praise. You got a knack for charming kids, huh? What are you calling a child? Diplomatic representative, of course. You? Oh boy. Get out the wall! I'm out of here. Should head to Anchor Infinity first. Nanto's waiting for a report. Rafa? Don't get it wrong, this is just Void Pierce disguised as Rafa. He found mechanical parts of a machine puppet, so he had Void Pierce temporarily pose as Rafa. Convenient, isn't it? So, you already obtained Lana's root access. Do you really believe Rafa would commit suicide? That Lana would just disappear? While Lana said the upgrade was complete, I couldn't help but think there's something more to it. We're well aware of these concerns. Currently, there are many more urgent matters to handle. We'll have to revisit these issues once we get through today's mess. Phew, I understand. Then, we need to talk about Kailo's future. Glaia's consciousness has been restored, and I've confirmed with her that she's never met you, so she's not the person you're looking for. She's awake? Where is she? Could her Starstone Cinder be cured? She was frozen for too long. Her body is extremely weak. I'm sorry, but she can't appear for now. I appreciate your concern. I'll make sure to relay it to her. What I'm about to say represents the position of Aglaya. My aunt, an illegal heir of Apex. The Apex businesses that anchor Infinity Seas must be returned to Apex. Or Zero Mining, Robocore Inc., and Voyage Innovations are all closely tied to Project Astralis. Hopefully it will soon full control, but it will temporarily remain under the Anchor Infinity name only. Astro Harvest, Helix Bio Inc., Echo, and all others will likely be handed back to Apex. I believe Helix Bio's research will help in treating Miss Aglaya. Robocure Inc. used to be a subsidiary of Apex and played a crucial role in my aunt's work developing Lana. I won't just give it up like that. Also, the director Johns has already agreed to join Apex. Robocure Inc. supplies Lana with the servers and controls the spaceship's navigation system, so it can't be handed over to you. Aglaya is still weak. Wait until her body recovers and I will negotiate with her in person. I also think we should wait for Aglaya's recovery. She'll certainly have a ton of important suggestions when it comes to Lana. Why don't we focus on what we'll say at the press conference for now? Right now, there are 3 critical issues we should address. First, an explanation on Rafa's exit. Second, we must confirm that Kyle will reopen the passage and establish stable communication with Ida. Finally, we have to halt the new Project Arc that Rafa announced. This is the long matter of safety for the Kylians. The project's future is too uncertain, and it's just insidious to continue right now. Aren't you coveting Kailo's spaceship technology anymore? That's not the most important mission to me right now. Once the passage reopens, I'll discuss it with my superior again. After all, Kailo isn't the same anymore. Seems Mr. Nacho has no objections. Let's hold a press conference. I am Rafa Garcia, President of Anchor Infinity. Today I hereby officially announce due to health concerns. From today on, I entrust Anchor Infinity to Nacho and Veronica. My body can't hold on any longer. We still announcing negotiation results. 3 points we just discussed. I'm done talking. Rafa is indeed bedridden due to his old age. As such, I'll report the outcome of the negotiations on his behalf. The diplomatic representative demonstrated remarkable sincerity during the negotiations, persuading Anchor Infinity to work with Ida to establish a secure, stable, and high-speed communication channel. In the near future, Islands and Kylians will be free to travel between 2 zones, and we will maintain friendly, equal relations with the interests of both parties coming first. Due to the significant resources required for the establishing this passage, we must pause the immigration applications for the new Project Arc. However, the Idol will support the construction of Kailo, backing our future efforts to explore the transformed broader habitats. The diplomatic representative has promised this. Huh? Me? Did I say that? Wait, he's just taking advantage of the chaos! I can't believe him! Hey, hold on. Please hold on. Mr. Hunter did indeed forget one thing. I will also fund the Hope Fleet's largest exploratory expedition, Project Astralis. I believe everyone here has heard of Project Astralis. After all, I've been in the news 10 times recently, and 9 of those mentions were related to it. In the past, many people believe Hope Fleet acted recklessly, and that the project was merely squandering Kylo's precious resources and energy. I mean, ultimately being a burden on Kailo itself, but we still have a second round of negotiations which will cover Aya's specific funding plans for Kailo and the construction plans for the new Tower of Fantasy. I knew Ida and diplomatic representative delegation is about to arrive in Kailo to commence broader negotiations. What? Oh, delegation? That concludes today's press conference. Thank you, everyone. I saved them. If I really promised Kailo so many resources they can't deliver, Plotty... No. Popo definitely won't let me off the hook. Huh. Hey, there's Plotty! Hey, girl! At last, I get to see Kyle in person. Hello, I am Plotty, an authorizer of High Cross. Why the fuck did you get here? Authorizer Sassila, thank you all for your hard work. I'll handle what comes next. You can rest now. I thought Nam was only bluffing back then, but you like showed up. It's all thanks to Void Piercer. I just need to control all the equipment in Kailo. She immediately restored the spacer and told me to come to assist. That request for a second round of negotiation just now. It came from you? Yes, the authorizer Sassa departed and... Yeah, the authorizer Sassa departed in too much haste and is not a professional diplomat, so they may not have fully understood their responsibilities. You cunning items, you've outwitted us. Given Kyle's situation, even if Kyle is in poor shape, what we're about to do should rightly be called assistance. It's not a good place to talk. Let's head inside. Hey, there she is! Shirley, how are you feeling? Are you feeling alright? I'm so sorry. I should have let you go through the space rift instead of me. I also shouldn't have. Trust me, I won't let anything else like this happen again. I promise I'll protect you from now on. I believe you. Nem told me everything you've been through. You did everything you could. You're carrying so many burdens. It's not your fault. Why don't you explain to me how Nem became like this first? Don't you recognize her? It was Veronica's idea. So, was it really Plotty who made you say all that just now? Mm-hmm. You would listen to her. Want to hear what they're saying? Not long is gone. This place is all mine. You changing the subject? Honestly, I do want to hear it. Go ahead. Surrender the space with technology and cooperate with us to construct the Tower Fantasy. Those are the only demands Hycross has. So you want us to reenact the disaster from 50 years ago? The Kailans aren't short on intelligence. We're just short on resources. I figured that would be your biggest concern. You can rest easy. That issue has already been resolved. Are you saying Hycross of Ida can't even build a large-scale space rift, yet you somehow claim to have a solution to this technological problem that shattered Ida 50 years ago? I've heard your blunt retorts. You're wrong about one thing. You determined the disaster 50 years ago was caused by human error, not a technological problem. You're all on the space station, so you should know that 50 years ago, humanity had no choice but to launch a global retracement to deal with the temporal anomaly. Then you failed, imposing a mass enthusia on all of Ida. But truly, the dead are not affected by temporal anomalies. The origin resonance failure 50 years ago was caused by humanity's insufficient preparations. Simply put, it was initiated under a state of emergency and forced into action before it was ready. But this time, our objective is to execute a perfect global retracement. How do you achieve perfection? Because this time we have the perfect authorizer. How does Plotty know I'm the perfect authorizer now? Did I forget to mention? I wanted Hycross to go all out to rescue you, but Plotty wanted to keep observing the situation and your reactions. I had to emphasize how important you are. What else did you say? She threatened me, saying if I didn't reveal everything I knew, she'd abandon the rescue mission. You fell for her threats? The one who threatened me was Papa. You can't reason with a lunatic. I run the numbers. There's a 9% chance Papa would make whatever choice she wants to. The other 10% is because of Plotty's presence. So Plotty knows about it. Yes, but she's very rational. She didn't tell anyone. Even if everything you said is true, building the Tower Fantasy, connecting with Ida, and ultimately allowing Kailo to return home, Kailo is not the same as Vera. At that time, there will be no Kailo. We have different perspectives. That's fine. There's still evidence. There's still no evidence. Once I prove it, we can resume negotiations. What exactly are you trying to prove? Please, both of you, follow what was said at the press conference and make every effort to construct stable channels, preferably using large-scale space rift technology, as we will be dispatching research personnel to conduct investigations. What exactly are you planning to research? As far as I know, you, as a commander of the Hope Fleet, have been eager to launch that shit. Hycross isn't skilled in space rift technology yet, but for certain reasons we have researched something similar to space-time turbulence, the abyss flow. If our researchers can develop more accurate space-time turbulence detection device here, it will greatly assist your navigation. Can we pull it off? Absolutely. But we need to work closely with Kailo's researchers. Knowledge only progresses through collaboration. Moreover, to learn as much as possible about space-time turbulence, it would be best to conduct research across different corners of Kailo's space. We also need to ask Kailo and Hycross to construct several large-scale space rifts. We're going to allow limited sharing of research results. Key research milestones must be completed independently by the researchers from Kailo. The Spaceport Technology team currently belongs to Apex. Apex will assign a representative to provide detailed terms of cooperation. We can discuss this further at our next negotiation. My aunt still needs me to look after her, so I must take my leave. We went to see Aglaya, Cecila. Should we go see her too? Us? Probably not. She doesn't know us. To her, we probably look more like enemies right now. Well, since Plotty's here, let's relax a bit and dump our burdens on her. You notice I'm feeling uneasy. My attempt to comfort you is come off that stiff. Lana's words. Upgrade complete. they scare me. I've researched all of Kailo, but Lana's vanished completely. The only place I can't reach right now is Planet Noah, because it's surrounded by space-time turbulence. She's surely hiding there. For now, we can leave everything to Plotty. We won't be able to get anywhere near Planet Noah until her space-time turbulence detection system is finished. I want to have a chat with Plotty when she comes out. Oh, that's it? No! That's it for the story? That was so short! That was so short compared to last time. What the fuck? Alright, well, I guess things are starting to get interesting around here. I was expecting at least another hour worth of story, but oh well, it is what it is. But I guess I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. Which I guess that means I'm free. That frees up my schedule for Thursday. So, Thursday I'll stream. I don't know if I'll stream Battlefield or Battlefront. I'll make that decision either tomorrow or sometime early Thursday. But yeah, things are starting to get interesting around here. I really wish that they had fucking Japanese audio, and I really wish the fucking audio worked properly in this game. Unfortunately, that's... Oh, hoping that they fix the fucking audio issues in this game is a fool's dream at this point. I'm just preaching to the choir at this point. Yeah, man, I love the game. I do. It's one of my favorite games. But that makes it so much worse. You know, saying the game handled by developers that just don't give a fucking shit about the game. No. It's just, it hurts so much more, but I still love the game, despite its many flaws that I still bitch about. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up tonight. So I'll be back Thursday, where we will play another game. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Later.
In a world of pixels where dreams collide,